What's up, peeps? Nick Battle, aka Nino's Corner, man. Today we're going to talk about NBA basketball and should high school players be allowed to go straight from high school to the NBA? And I'm asking this question, guys, because just this past week we had two high school five-star players, Isaiah Todd, 6'10 power forward slash center, and Jalen Green, a 6'5 guard, both forego college to go to the NBA G League, right? To play their 4 year and then go into the draft the following year. And why they're doing this, guys? It's the money, man. Jalen Green is reported to get $500,000 to go play in the G League for 50 games, and then he can go into the draft. Now, let's be honest. These two guys are five-star talents. 9 times out of 10, they're going to go to college for a year. If they would have went to college and just did their year and went straight to the draft. So I don't blame them, man. Go get paid, man. Go get your money. And a lot of people are saying that this isn't right. Your kids are getting free education. You never miss a college experience. You want to do this, you want to do that. Well, how about this? Hey, guys, I'm a military man, right? I've been in the military almost 15 years now, okay? I didn't have to go to college to get into the military. I could have went straight to high school. If I can go do any job that doesn't require me to have a degree, if I can go do it straight out of high school, why shouldn't I be able to do it? Why not? If you're an NBA player or if you're a basketball player and that profession thinks that you're good enough to play at the highest of levels and they want to pay you millions of dollars to do it, how come you can't do it? Why not? They do it in baseball. They do it in baseball. Nobody cries about that. They do it in hockey. Nobody cries about that. But anytime it comes to basketball, it's always somebody talking and doing some rumbling, right? I have my theories on why that goes on, but we might talk about that later on today in this convo. But we'll see. But hey, man, go get your money. I don't blame them. If you're good enough to be able to play at the highest of levels straight out of high school, why not? And if you're good enough to be there and at least sit on a bench and learn for a couple years and still get paid, why not? Call it your apprenticeship. It's a skill. There's a bunch of skills that people can't do. I can't draw worth a damn. I could never be a tattoo artist, guys. But if I was a dope tattoo, if I was a dope tattoo artist, I don't have to go to art school to go be a tattoo artist. If I'm good at doing tattoos at the age of 17, and as soon as I graduated high school, I want to go tattoo for the rest of my life and make a bunch of money doing it, because a lot of people are making a bunch of money tattooing. Why not? I don't got to go to school for that. If I want to go serve my country and go be in the front lines and go to Iraq and Afghanistan, I don't want to go to college for that if I don't want to. If I don't want to be an officer. Now there are certain professions that you do need a degree. Doctor, you need to go to school. Engineer, you need to go to school. Scientists, you need to go to school. I mean, there are certain professions that you need to go to school for, because you have to learn a lot of things. A lawyer, you got to learn how to be a lawyer. Whether you're a defense attorney or a prosecutor, you have to learn the tools of the trade. But let's focus on the word trade. Basketball is about skill. And what is 1 year of college underneath a college coach going to teach me? All right? What's it going to teach me if I can go get taught by Popovich, or get taught by Eric Spoelstra, or get taught by Vogel, or get taught by Steve Kerr? Are we saying that these college coaches are better handled to teach me than Steve Kerr or Popovich is? Tyronn Lue? I think not. So why not let these guys go get paid? I think I know what the reason is. But we'll talk about that later. I've always said you should allow these athletes to go get paid, because it is their one time to go make a lot of money in one profession. And sports is the total opposite of any other field. Sports is so front loaded. It is so front loaded. It's one of the only professions where you are going to make the bulk of your money. If you have one contract and you're able to sustain one contract where it's 4 or 5 years, you're going to make the most amount of money that you're ever going to make in your life in those 5 years. So you got to maximize it. Okay? You have to maximize it. So if these guys are able to get out of a broken situation at home, mama might be struggling. Daddy might be struggling. Your family might not have anything. And you have an opportunity to go straight to the NBA. And the NBA says we're going to give you a 5-year contract. $3.5 million a year. That's life-changing money for people who've never had anything. All right? Life-changing money for people who have never had anything. Think about that for a minute. To all the listeners out there, whether you are an artist, a designer, an interior designer, or a mathematician, or whatever, or a computer coder, which you don't need a degree to go code computers. If you know how to do it, you know how to do it. You don't need a degree to go build computers. You don't need degrees for certain things. If you know how to build websites, you don't need to have a degree to be a graphic designer. It looks good on paper to have it, but you don't need a degree for that. You know, I know how to build websites. I am not an electrical engineer or a computer science guy. I can do it. I didn't go to school for that. That's something I learned on my own. Right? Doesn't take any equations for that. Okay? So, ask yourself, listeners, ask yourself, if you're a guy who is, I don't know, let's say you have created an invention. Let's say, for instance, Facebook. Or you're the guy who created Instagram, or Twitter, or TikTok, or YouTube. If you created that at the age of 17, are you going to tell yourself, I need to go to college first before I put this thing out and make a bunch of money because that's just what I should do? No, you're not going to tell yourself that. You're going to go make that money. So allow these kids to go make their money too. Allow them. You don't know what these guys are going through, and they're one injury away from never having that opportunity again. Think about that. They're one injury away from never having that opportunity again. Yeah. It hits hard, man. It hits hard. So, yeah, we talked about that. Let's go to a small commercial break, and then I'll hit you back on the other side, guys. All right? All right, guys, and we're back. So, some of the thoughts that I've had on this subject about high school players going straight to college, we've seen guys do it. We've seen the Brandon Jennings who basically said, I'm not going to college. He went and played overseas for a year and then came to the league, and he's still playing in the league to this day. You see LaMelo Ball, who did not go to college. He went overseas to play in, I think, Australia or somewhere, but he went overseas to play for a year. If I'm not mistaken, didn't he buy some of the team or something like that too? But he said, I'm not going to college. And now he's entering the draft, and he is projected to be a top 10 pick in the draft, which means he's going to get guaranteed money. Why not? Why not? Did LeBron need to go to college for a year? No. Did Kevin Durant need to go to college for a year? He could have went straight to the league out of high school if he was able to, and he would have did just fine. And I'm a Texas guy. I loved when he went to Texas, but did he need to go to Texas? No, he didn't. He could have made it without it. He was going to make it without it. He did 1 year. Did Kevin Garnett need college? No, he didn't go to college. He did just fine. Now, there are a bunch of people who bust who didn't go to college, but there are a bunch of people who bust who did go to college. So it's just either you're good enough to do it or you're not. Some people need more grooming, some don't. You know, and we all know the guys who are at the top of that list that don't need some grooming, they're going to make it. Even a guy like Kwame Brown, everybody talks bad about Kwame Brown. Yes, he was the first pick of the draft, and he's picked by Michael Jordan. However, he was a bust per se because he didn't live up to his I guess potential or what people thought he was going to be. But he played 10 plus years in the league. Do you call a guy who played 10 plus years in the league a bust? No, I'm not gonna say a great career because he had a good career. Teams wanted him, and he played for a while. He came straight out of high school. Dwight Howard, straight out of high school. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. You know, there are guys who didn't need high school, guys. There are guys who didn't need it, and there's some guys who needed it. Like a Donovan Mitchell probably needed some grooming, you know, but he wasn't one of the guys that would have gone straight from high school to college. So the college game's still going to be there for those who need it. So let's get back to the topic at hand, though. Why do people care so much about basketball and whether these guys should go play college or not, but they don't care about baseball or hockey? Well, my theories are, I got two theories on this. One theory is March Madness brings a ton of money. It brings way more money than the College World Series, and nobody watches college hockey. I hate to say hockey players, nobody watches you. Nobody watches you. All right? No dissing or anything, but people watch college football and people watch college basketball and sometimes the College World Series, and it's in that order. It just is what it is. March Madness brings in, what is it, like $4 billion in March, or $5 billion. I mean, it's a ridiculous amount of money. Like, College World Series and hockey do not bring that kind of money in. So it is what it is. So in saying that, guys, yeah, first off, it's the money aspect. The second reason why I think is because, let's just keep it real. Basketball is a sport that is dominated by minorities. And I honestly believe that some of the powers that be don't want to see those young minorities with that kind of money in their hand off the top. And I think sometimes it's kind of a keep people in their place kind of situation, because if you're good enough to go, why not let them go? We let guys go baseball. We let guys go hockey. And it is what it is. But anytime there's something to say about basketball, we want to tell them or tell the kids coming out of high school, no, you have to go to school. Why? Why do I got to do it? But a guy like, I don't know, a baseball player doesn't have to do it. They can get picked in a draft and get paid and go straight and play baseball. You know, like, for instance, Kyler Murray got drafted by baseball. They paid him a ton of money, and he didn't have to go to college. He could have went and played baseball. But he didn't. He decided to go to college and play football because that's his first love. But Kyler Murray got paid a ton of money. He was the 9th pick of the draft. And he could have went straight out of high school if he wanted to and played baseball. But he decided not to. All right? A couple, like, players have done that. So, I think they need to, like, get this right and just allow these kids to be able to go straight to the league. Because a guy like Jalen Green, who just signed a $500,000 deal to go play in the G League, let's be honest, the G League has players who went to college who are good enough to be in the G League, but not good enough to be in the league per se. But in college, you're going against people who are the same way. They're good enough to be in college, but they might not even go to the G League. A lot of these players don't even go to, to the league. So out of these guys, you get, how many people get drafted a year, guys? So it's 2 rounds, it's 32 teams. So 64 people get drafted a year. College basketball, let's say you got 15 people on a team. It's 130, 140 teams. So just do the math on that, guys. Just do the math. It's over 2,000 people in college basketball. 64 get drafted. Some are going to come on as undrafted free agents, maybe. Some are going to go overseas and play, maybe. But the majority are not going to get drafted. They're going to talk about their college careers their whole life and not get drafted. So is it really worth this kid to go play in college against people who don't have a shot to go to the league? Some that don't have a shot to go to the league, they're just good enough to make a college roster? Or is it good enough for these kids to go play against guys who are a little bit older, a little bit stronger, who are also trying to get to the league because they're one step closer to the league, so they're going to be hungry and want it? I think the G League is it. But it's going to come a point to where the powers that be are going to have to let these guys come straight out of high school. I think it's the right thing to do. We can do it in any other profession, and we don't need to have a degree to go be anything that requires a certain talent that doesn't require a college degree. Excuse me, guys. You don't need a college degree to go play basketball. You don't need a college degree to go be a tattoo artist, like I said, guys. You don't need a college degree to go build computers. You don't need a college degree to go start Facebook. You don't need a college degree to start Amazon. You don't need a college degree to start Instagram or TikTok. You don't need a college degree to do that stuff. You don't need a college degree to build websites. You don't. So if I can take my talent straight from high school to the workforce and make money. If I want to open my own lawn business when I get out of high school and employ people to work for me with no degree, people are going to say, oh, look how hard working he was. Oh my God, he started his own business. Well, guess what? Those kids are walking businesses. They're walking brands. That Jalen Green kid, that 6'5" shooting guard, point guard, that's a freaking monster that's getting paid $500,000 to go play in the G League. He's a walking brand. He's a brand. He is his business. LeBron James is his business. That's why he spends $1.5 million on his body every year to keep his body right. He's his own business. That's why he has his own lifetime contract with Nike. That's why he has all these endorsements. He's his own business. So we need to stop looking at this as saying that these kids are so ungrateful because they're getting a free education. Oh, I didn't get a free education. I had to go pay for my own school. Well, hey, you're not like them. I guarantee you, if you were 6'6" or 6'7" and can dribble a ball the way that they could, or catch a football, or throw a baseball, or hit a hockey puck as fast as whatever, or even tennis. You don't gotta play. You don't gotta go to high school. I mean, you have to go to college to play tennis. You know, if you could be a Serena or Andre Agassi or a Nadal, and you could do that, you would be singing a different tune too. You would be like, I don't want to go to college because I'm about to get paid. So on that note, guys, man, just think about that for a minute. Should these high school basketball players be allowed to go straight to the NBA? Because they're finding loopholes on ways to not go to college and still get paid. And they're doing that by going to the G League and going overseas. I agree with these kids wholeheartedly. They should be able to go to the league if they are talented enough and somebody believes in them enough to draft them. But on that note, guys, man, I got to go. So that note, we're going to say, do you. Don't be afraid to fail. Outgrow your environment and understand your brilliance. And NinosCorner, I am out.